everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have got for you a box card, which is a music instrument theme. It closes completely flat for postage, etc. So depending on where you live, it fits into an envelope that goes with the 7x5 inch card. Don't have the envelope here, I've moved house, I've got very limited supplies at the moment, but if you look at my other YouTube videos on these box cards, you'll see that they're all the same size. So they come in a PDF format and you just print, cut and make. There's no dies or anything like that required. So you've got a space on the back where you can write your message. You've got a space underneath there so you can have the card folded many ways. But you can see when it folds flat, the 7x5 inch is that area there around the outside. So we've got a piano keyboard on the bottom. We've got our happy birthday written in musical description notes, I don't know what you call them really, and then I've drawn all these little bits here, so everything just comes already drawn. All you've got to do is cut it out and put it together, and you've got all the instructions, and I will show you how to do it. So this is what you get an instruction sheet, which is really simple, and I'll go through it step by step. I'll read out what it says and actually physically do it as it says it. And then we've got the base card. So what you get is you have to cut these keyboards out separately around the black line, and then there is a fine black line that goes all the way around the edge. Now I cut just inside of that. You can cut on it, it's up to you, or just outside of it if you want, but be exact, because obviously I've designed it with the measurements that I'm going to give you to use that size. So when you're printing, print at actual size, and you do get them in A4 and you do get them in US letter. So make sure you've got the right choice on your printer for the card you're using. Print with high quality, and also print them at actual size. These are the panels, so you cut around the outside of these panels. You'll see you in a minute anyway. Around these elements and the numbers, so you can go, you know, we've got 0 to 9 twice over, so that covers a whole lifetime. So there we go, that's what you get. So let's get started and make it. So the first instruction, what I'm going to do is fold this up so I can read it from behind rather than keep bringing it back in and out. So print and cut out shape. So I've printed it and then I've cut around that black line, and this gives you your base card. Okay, now you need a scoreboard. I advise that it's easier, but obviously you can do the measurements I've said, put little marks and cut down, etc. So what it says is print and cut out the shaped card with the large panel on the right. Score at 1.5, which is here. Now what you're going to be doing is literally scoring between these lines and then there at the end as well, but it is the actual measurements, just in case you've printed it and it doesn't work. 1.5, 5, 6.5 and 10, and that basically just gives you those measurements there. And then what it tells you to do, I'm just reading that out from the back. That's it. With the large panel on the right, blah, 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 we've just done turn the card portrait, and with the large panel at the bottom of the card, so you can just about see that in shot. I can't change my camera setup at the moment, but what you do is and we're only going to do down to there anyway, so you'll be able to see that. So at 2.5, you score, and it says score only up to the printed panel score mark. This is the printed panel, and there's a score mark we've just made. So you're going to score down from 2.5, but you're only going up to that score line at the printed panel. You don't come all across here, because that is going to be the back. So we need that to be whole. So we've done that, and then I think we've finished. Oh no, we haven't finished with the scoreboard, have we? No, because we've got to do the little panels. So then it says cut either side. Just get my scissors. Oh, it's so difficult. Nothing's around. Cut either side of the happy birthday. So that score line you've just made is going to be like a marker, if you like. But obviously, like I said, you don't have to score all the way up to there if you didn't want to, because you're literally just going to use it as a guideline to cut through. So if you don't like the score line element of it, then don't have to do it. So you just cut in there. So you've cut between happy birthday there, there and there. So that's all your cut lines that you've had to do. Fold all the score lines and open back up. So these come inwards, so we're going to fold them inwards. Now just always make sure that the bottom is lining up, because that's the important part. Okay, so just make sure that the bottoms line up. As you pull these in, you'll see there. See, if I did it like that, it'd be off skew. So just make sure that it's lining up before you reinforce that score line. and finally the one next to the panel. Now if you want to know how to make these box cards, I have got a demo on my YouTube channel to show you how to do them without having to buy the artwork and print it out to make this specific one. Now with this last tab, that also comes in, but it's going to come in from the other direction. Again, just make sure it's straight to the bottom, because that's the important part. So there's our base panel done. Then we move on, and it says on the second sheet, cut out all the elements, score the rectangle base of the large panels vertically, 1/2 inch in from each end. So we take these two panels that we've cut around, and then 1/2 inch in. So I'm going to turn them up the other way, because then I've got a flat bit. I mean, it's going to be really difficult. They're going to be wavering. So you turn them up the other way, and you can get your 1/2 inch in from each end, which is going to be, if you've cut it and printed it, the same 1/2 and 4. But it's 1/2 in, 1/2 in. And then again, 1/2 and 4. Fold the left side tab backwards using the guitar panel. So we're going to fold the left side backwards like that. While I'm here, I'm going to just fold that one forwards, because they come forwards in a minute. And again, you want to make sure that they're straight. So left side goes back, so it looks like a Z. But the left side goes back and the front one comes forward, okay? Just remember that. Left, back, front, forward. So that's going to be on both of those. And then we've got to glue this one next to the background panel. But we don't want to go on the score line. And then we do the same for this microphone panel. So this score line here, this one here, it's really important that we don't put the guitar panel on it, like over the score line, because it will prevent this from doing it. Now, just to point out, actually, these black marks here are where I've used a pen from behind. Always use a pen from behind, because I really prefer to have these black lines done with a Sharpie or a brush pen. Brush pen would be better, I only have a Sharpie. It just finishes it off nicely. You can see the top of the microphone maybe is white, and that one's been coloured black. You can see I missed. So now what you need to do is just add glue to this tab here. I'm going to move my scoreboard actually, because it gives lines on your card if you rub things down on a scoreboard. So the big panel first, get some glue. I like to use wet glue. You can use tape. If you prefer using tape, use tape, it's fine. And we're just going to add some glue. And this is the only glue I can find as well. I can't wait to have my craft room back. It's not even got to a floor and everything. It says, oh, yeah. But I'll be back and much more active once I've got an art room back, craft room. So what you do is you're going to put this on the bottom up to that score line like that. Now I've designed this so that these are equally spaced. I'm going to pop that on there, rub it down, and it's going to fold that way, okay? So you've got a little shift to the left if you like. And then the next one's going to go butting up to that one like that. So it's very simple to do. I've designed it and made it so it's really easy to put together. So you can sit down in front of the TV or out in the garden, cut all the elements out. That's what I've done. I have to do 3 lots, because I have to do one to show you the print, and then obviously one for my demonstration that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and then the one we're making. And it really doesn't take very long at all. And you're free to sell these. You just can't sell the PDFs. You can make them and sell the physical items. I'm fine with that. So just make sure when these come over, they all line up in the bottom. So that's that little bit done. Sorry if the camera's wobbling, but it's attached to the table quite precariously, because again, I don't have a craft room. So we've done that bit. And then it says, fold the left side tab backwards, do the same for the microphone panel. We've done it. Keep the right hand side of the tabs on the panel forward. So these ones have to come forward now. And then also this panel. So we need to pull this one around as well. The one on the large panel comes forward. And then we're going to glue that down. So we're going to add glue to these 3. Come on, glue, you can do it. I haven't got a lot left. Sorry, probably shaking you then. Come on, come on. It's not long, you don't have long to live. Right, That's going to have to do because the glue's seizing up on me here. Right. So once you've got some glue, I need more on there. There's hardly anything on it, it's not going to stick. Right, let's turn that upside down a minute. Put the lid on, put it upside down in my pot. Hopefully we'll have enough to do the panels. Then fold card in half. Halfway is there. It does show you on the instruction sheet that where it is. And you're going to come over and trap all those ones there. Now you can see I've got some overhangs here at the bottom. You may not be able to see that. You just snip them off. That's fine. And you just give that a good old rub down like that. And then what you'll see is you've got your box card already. So these ones come forward like this. Fold that one down straight. Might help. So they come forward. And you've got your little box card already made. And you can see there. Oh, look, glue's not taken. Didn't have enough. Give it a good old rub down so you can check your glue's done. There we go. So that's your even spacing in the bottom. And now, we'll just let that sit, I think, because that glue, there's not really enough on there. So just let that sit for a minute. And then the next section, it says, cut out the keyboard panels. So that's these three. And they were on the base sheet as well. I've also cut out the other elements. I've put them there so I don't lose them. I've cut out 30 and a couple of the, well, 2 of the records in the 30. So with the panels, when you put them on the box, just remember with these ones, that a keyboard goes 3-2, 3-2 on the sharp and flat keys. On the black keys, it goes 3. So if you did that, it's wrong. You need to have the one with the 2. So the 2s need to go next to the 3. So they are around a certain way. So like that. So you've got your keyboard display like that. And they just get put onto the front of the panel. Box panel. So use the big one first. And I always put this one down first. Now where the score lines are, put it evenly between the score lines on these sides and then the bottom. And you can see that it's been designed obviously to fit inside of there nicely. But when you've got the middle one in, you can then add the left and right to suit. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Hope not. Have we got any glue? I've got a little bit of glue back. Upside down. Right, so I'm going to put it on quite weirdly. I'm going to have to put the lid on it or I'm going to lose any glue I've got left. So smear it out. It dries quicker. It looks better and you don't end up with lumps underneath. So, you know, give it a good old smear out with your baby finger. It's my favourite tool. And then pop that onto the front panel like so. And when you're happy where it is, give it a rub down. Like I say, I'm moving the camera when I move the table, sorry. Try not to rub too hard. And then we've got to make sure we've got the right panel, which is that one. Check and double check. Measure twice, cut once. Not that that's appropriate for this, but same sort of principle. Look twice. Right, and then that one goes on the end there. Like so. Turn it around the other way. While you're doing all of this as well, you're getting it nice and manoeuvred, ready to become flat. Now, if you want it to be completely flat, you're not using foam pads for the records or anything like that, then make sure that you put it underneath a book or something to flatten it, and that'll help make sure it stays flat in the envelope for posting. You don't want it springing up and the postman goes, hang on a minute, that's bigger than what you're allowed, lady. I'm so sorry about this wobbling of the table. Right, let's pop that on there then. Not so sure I need that glue anymore anyway. I think we'll be good for now. So, we've got our lovely keyboard panels. Now you can put a little message up here, and when you fold it to send out to the recipient, these have come undone again. That glue has not taken on there at all. Very annoying. I'll have to do it afterwards. But you know, you get it, it's just the glue. So, what we need to do now is the record. So what I like to do is I put a foam pad on the back of one of the records. Probably need my pokey tool to get that off. And then I just put it up in this top corner, because when it's folded flat, obviously it looks a little bit boring, you know, because there's nothing there. I like to leave a little tiny bit of blue either side, or turquoise, like that. But I will try and glue that in a minute. In fact, I'll try and do it now. Just bear with me while we try and glue this back down. It's going to be a bit trickier because obviously the card is now made. But I've got to get something in there. This is ridiculous. Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing, but I've got glue in midair. I'm only gluing the bottom as well, so hopefully that'll be enough to hold it. Stop it opening and then I'll glue the top later. Let's just hold that there. Wish I'd used tape now, but never mind. Give it a little rub. Sorry, people. Now, the other one I like to do... Oh, no, I still need a little bit of glue. No, I'll use tape. Let's use tape. Let's forget the glue thing. Sorry, people. So now we can add our elements. So the other record, please stay there. It's glued at the bottom, but not at the top. So with the other record, I like to put a bit of tape just along the very bottom of the happy birthday section there. Just use red liner because it's very strong. Make sure the happy birthday is quite straight, unless you want it to go really jaunty, then it wouldn't matter. Just put a bit of tape across the bottom of that. Like so, rub it down. And then put it on the front of the record. Or, well, it's up to you. You can put these wherever you like, don't forget. So you can even have them on the inside here. It's fine. So you can put them wherever you want. But this is how I did the one that I showed you at the beginning. I just put it behind the very front section there. So I just put it up to the edge like that. So now that's on the front of the record. So when it's closed, they open it, then they're going to see that record there. If you've got these down, that could be up because it looks quite nice up like that as well. So I think that's a nice way to send it, unless, like I say, you want them to see the message there. So now all we need to do is attach the 30. So I've cut out the 30. Now just put your scissors in the middle there and then cut a line and just go around the centre when you're cutting out the central pieces. So we've got a 30. Now what I'm going to do with this is what I did with the other one as well. Is I've put 2 runs of red liner tape on the bottom of some acetate. Now I want these to be behind the speaker. I just think it's a good place to put them. You can put them wherever you like I say, you can have it at the front, the back, wherever. So what I'm going to do is add some red liner tape just to the back of the 3 and the 0. So I'll just go, you don't need a lot on there either, you know, you can just go down the side of the 3 and one side of the 0. I mean, you can do both obviously if you want to, but it's not going to go anywhere. So I'll put the 3 on first, makes sense, doesn't it? So that's not even straight, that bit of acetate at all, didn't realise that. I haven't got a cutter, so everything I've done has been by hand. So it's about there's a better look. So put the 3, make sure that takes from the front. Put the 3, and you can overhang it a little bit, like that, onto there. Then the 0 next to it. And then before I take the tape off the bottom, just get that 0 on. What I'm going to do is cut this up. I'll probably start up the top and come down, so I've got enough acetate. Excuse me. And then what we'll do is we'll just cut off this corner because it's acetate's sharp. I don't want anyone to get cutting themselves or anything when they open it. It'd be terrible. I'll just go around the 3 and the 0, so I've got a nice smooth edge to that. And then we can take the tape off of here. First of all, before you take the tape off, it's a good idea just to see where you want it in there, because you can have it in this section at the front, you can have it behind the microphone section, but I think because I want to see the artwork, etc. of the guitar, I'm going to pop it there. Now with the guitar handle, you could pop it behind or bring it round to the front. It's entirely up to you. I think it's fine being at the front. And then it's how high you want it. Obviously you don't want to go taller than the card or it won't fit in the envelope. You can have it so it looks like it's sitting on top of the speaker. It's up to you really. So I'm just going to take the tape off and pop that in and then we're done. So all the links to buying these PDFs are in the description on Ko-fi and Etsy, and you'll see the other ones. I'll link everything in there as well. So now we just pop that in there, keep it towards the back, don't let it touch the inside of the card, because once that red liner hits, it's staying there. It's made its mind up for you. There you go. So you can see that does have a bit of movement about it. When you get the card open, it's quite nice. And there we go, we've got our lovely card done, and we can close that up and pop it in the envelope. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.